Welcome everybody to another Pokemon VGC video. It's me, Katsu, and today we're going to be talking about the World's 2025 Championships that just happened this past weekend, and oh my gosh, it was an absolute doozy. It was so much fun to see, it was so much fun to look at, it was, all the matches were just really good. I really did enjoy this Worlds. I think this Worlds was really great. The transitions that they did for Worlds was really good. The scenery, like the arena that they did for Worlds was really good. Definitely one of my favorite Worlds to watch. It was really good. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So we're going to be going through the top 4 teams that came out of Worlds 2025. And of course, if you guys want to try these out yourselves, we're going to be going through each and every single one of them as well. It's going to be a super fun time. But we're going to be starting things off with the number 4 slot, with one of the top 4s, going into Montana Mott's team with the classic Zamazenta Calyrex Shadow Rider. This team has been around everywhere. Like when I watched on day 1, Shadow Calyrex and Zamazenta was around like everywhere. They were all over the place. So it's nice to see that they still came up in top 4. Unfortunately, we're going to get to the number 1 slot, but big spoiler alert, they did not win the top spot. It is going to be a brand new set here, which is going to be super amazing, so stay tuned. We're going to go through this super crazy like. But of course, we're going to start things off with the Zamazenta going into the Rusted Shield as well. Of course, you are with the Terra Dragon, Body Press, Heavy Slam, Wide Guard Protect, standard set for Zamazenta, can't really complain there. Terra Dragon making a comeback as well. Normally, we've seen either Terra Water Zamazenta, which has kind of been the new thing, but nice to see that Terra Dragon is still the staple of, let's just say, the best form of Zamazenta. It's really nice to see, and the fact that Zamazenta is still standing strong here with that Terra Dragon after so much time just proves that Terra Dragon is the key Terra for Zamazenta to go with here, because it is, I think this one is the best rated Zamazenta Calyrex team that transpired across Worlds as well. So this is the quintessential quote-unquote best Shadow Rider Calyrex Zamazenta team. And of course, we've got the Shadow Rider Calyrex with the Focus Sash going into Terra Ghost, Astro Barrage, Psychic, Encore, Protect. We've not seen this set since the start of Regulation I, which was quite interesting. When Regulation I became less fresh and started to come more into the metagame, Encore kind of got switched out for something like Nasty Plot, which was quite weird. But now, again, we've gone essentially back to basics here for both Calyrex and Zamazenta. Zamazenta going back to Terra Dragon, obviously, and then Calyrex going back to the Focus Sash, back to the Encore, back to the Terra Ghost. When going into Reg I's lifespan, Calyrex changed into going into Terra Dark with the Life Orb and with Nasty Plot. So it was quite interesting to see this here. I was quite impressed to see that this changed completely. So it was quite interesting to see here. Nice to see Focus Sash, Terra Ghost making a comeback here as well. Not bad for Shadow Rider Calyrex. Not bad at all. We have the Booster Energy Raging Bolt going into Terra Electric, Thunderbolt, T-Clap, Dragon Pulse, and Protect. Standard set for Raging Bolt here. Can't really complain. We've gone more into the Booster Energy set now. Normally, at the beginning of Raging Bolt, we would see things like Life Orb or Assault Vest as well. Maybe Leftovers sometimes, but I think Booster Energy is the quintessential thing for Raging Bolt just because it's just so good. It's really good, and it's really strong here. We have the Amoonguss as well with the Rocky Helmet going into Terra Water, Spore, Sludge Bomb, Rage Powder Protect. Standard set for Amoonguss, can't really complain. But we have the Dragonite, which is quite interesting. So Dragonite has been kind of somewhat of a staple here for Zamazenta teams back in Regulation G, I believe. So it was quite interesting to see here. I'm quite intrigued. It's really impressive. So Dragonite going into the Terra Normal with the Choice Band has Extreme Speed, Low Kick, Aqua Jet, and Outrage. So you have 2 priority moves here, 1 Stab Dragon move, and then just a nice Low Kick to check all these restrictors, because a lot of these restrictors are really heavy. Things like Kyogre, things like Ice Rider, things like Groudon, all of these guys are just really heavy to go for here, so it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to go for a low kick that adjusts damage by weight, so not too bad. It's not too bad at all. But to see Dragonite paired up with this team here is quite interesting, because I was not expecting to see Dragonite here, especially with an Aqua Jet Dragonite, which I guess makes sense because you need somewhat of water type coverage, which is again quite useful here. And it's again, since Dragonite does have that water type coverage but doesn't get hit with Thunderbolt or Thunderclap on Rage Bolt, like for example something like Urshifu would get hit by, you've kind of got that resistance there, or at least that neutral damage there, in comparison to something like Urshifu that does like to use Aqua Jet but is weak to Rage Bolt. Not too bad, actually. It's not too bad at all. We quite like this. I like this tech of Dragonite. It's quite cool. Because, of course, it synergizes very well with the Chien-Pao. Going into the Assault Vest, going into Terra Poison, Ice Spinner, Sucker Punch, Ruination, and Icy Wind. And again, this is a very different Chien-Pao than what we're used to. First off, the Assault Vest. Nothing that we've seen with Chien-Pao even remotely triggered using Assault Vest. Terra Poison, same thing. Nothing even remotely triggered to using Terra Poison. Normally we'd see Terra Ghost, or if anything Terra Stellar, but never Terra Poison. This is quite interesting, but I guess this also makes sense because you do get that resistance on those fighting type Pokemon, which you are quad weak to, which is again a really nice thing to go for here. So it's quite nice. And again, to stay clear of both ground and psychic types that want to hit poison for super effective damage, you have something that gets rid of both of them. Ice Spinner for ground types and Sucker Punch Punch for Psychic type. So it's a really nice tech there that can, you know, that you've got like self countermeasures for, which is an always great thing for a Terra typing as well. Ruination is really cool here because if you can, I believe if you're faster than the Calyrex, I'm not sure if that's the case, I'm not sure if this is a bulky Calyrex, but essentially, you can use Ruination. One, you can break a Focus Sash on any Pokemon, and two, you kind of set up for Shadow Rider to get an easier boost with that Astral Barrage, which makes things a lot more easier. And of course, that Icy Wind being able to slow everybody down at the same time as well, being resistant to Shadow Rider Calyrex's Astral Barrage and immune to its Psychic, means that you kind of have like a free game here to kind of go Icy Wind, slow everybody down, Shadow Rider comes in later, and then just Astral Barrage everyone because you can't really outspeed everybody. So it's a really nice tech here. I do like this for Chmapionship. I think this is really good tech here for Chmapionship, but nice to see the team come through here. I am an absolute mega fan of Zamazenta Shadow Rider Calyrex, so this was nice to see that it came up in top 4 at the very least. Next up is the other top 4 slot done by Hirofumi Kimura, and it is the Ice Rider Calyrex and KORAIDON team. So this again is very interesting. Not a pairing that you'd see very much in the metagame, but honestly, it did very well. I mean, it got top 4, so clearly it did very well. We have the Incineroar with the safety goggles going into Terra Water, knock off Flare Blitz, fake out Parting Shot, stand set for Incineroar, can't really complain. Pretty much stand here. Normally we've seen Terra Bug on Incineroar, but Terra Water is kind of new. This is quite interesting because I suppose for the most part, anything that's, you know, grass typing like Rillaboom or electric typing like Raging Bolt, Ice Rider Calyrex just threatens it so badly, like really badly. The threat on it is the countermeasure that you have for Ice Rider Calyrex with the Incineroar combination is really vicious here, and I do like this. This is good synergy. I like this. Speaking of Ice Rider Calyrex, we have the Ice Rider, of course, with the leftovers going to Terra Fairy, Glacial Lance, Protect, Trick Room, Leech Seed. It's the Leech Seed variant, which is, you know, very nice, very solid. It's showing really good results here. I do like Ice Rider Calyrex. Ice Rider Calyrex is quite nice. I have to respect it. Not Mon that I would personally use, but I have to respect how good this thing is. You can't not respect this. This thing is absolutely insane. We have the Rillaboom going with the Assault Vest, Terra Water, Woodhammer, Fake Out, Grass Scarlet, U-Turn, stand set for Rillaboom, can't really complain. The only switch up is that it is Terra Water and not Terra Fire. 2 Terra Waters straight out of the gate here, which is quite interesting. We have the Smeargle going into Terra Grass with the Focus Sash, with the Moody ability, Ruination, Spore, Spiky Shield, and Follow Me. Ruination is also something really useful here because, again, if you are a lot faster than Ice Rider Calyrex, so meaning that you can Ruination, chip off a Focus Sash, and put you in place for Ice Rider Calyrex to get a massive KO and start boosting up Chilling Naze as well, which is really good here. Spiky Shield is an amazing tech as well. Normally we'd see things like Decorate or things like Fake Out, but Smeargle doesn't go for it this time. It goes for the Ruination and the Spiky Shield instead, which is really interesting here. It's a really interesting tech for Smeargle here. We have the Landorus with the Life Orb, again going into Terra Water, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Sand Storm, Protect. A lot of Terra Water going here. There is a lot of Terra Water going here. That is really interesting that we're seeing a lot of Terra Water going through here. But I guess for a countermeasure as well, Landorus, again, like we said with Chmapionship in the last team, it's one of those Terra typings that you can kind of get a countermeasure for. Any grass types, you've got Sludge Bomb. Any electric types, you've got Earth Power and Sand Sear. So it's not the worst thing for Landorus to have anyway. So it's not too bad. We can respect this. We like this a lot. And of course, last up is the KORAIDON with the Clear Amulet going in Terra Fire, Flame Charge, Flare Blitz, Low Kick, and Protect. So normally in this fighting type slot, you would have things like Collision Course or Close Combat. That's the main 2 fighting sets here that you have. But Low Kick also does have a really nice usage here. We did see Low Kick again being very useful on a lot of restricted Ice Riders, you know, even non-restricted like Iron Hands is still really useful towards it. So it's very interesting to see KORAIDON being in this position here, doing so much good damage for it. So it's not too bad. I personally don't mind it. I think KORAIDON is really good. I think KORAIDON is now finally getting put in the spotlight as it should have been a long time ago, in my opinion. I think everybody slept on KORAIDON. Even when it won big tournaments, I still think a lot of people didn't really give it the respect it deserved. I definitely think now it has 100% got the respect it deserves after this. And I emphasize that point on KORAIDON by going into the number 2 team done by James Evans, which is a KORAIDON Shadow Rider Calyrex team. So again, not really a team we're expecting, not really a team we was like focusing on. These two, I've not really seen these two paired up very much. So I think at the beginning of Regulation I, but not so much since afterwards, which is quite nice. Normally a lot of people swapped out this slot for LUNALA, which is quite interesting. So to see these two paired up together and get second in Worlds is absolutely insane. We have the Raging Bolt with the Assault Vest going into Terra Electric, T-Clap, Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch. Excuse me, very nice set here for the Raging Bolt here. Again, I was just talking about earlier that Raging Bolt, we don't normally see it without Booster Energy anymore. We normally used to see it with Life Orb and Assault Vest. Here we go, Raging Bolt getting that Assault Vest yet again. I guess because you don't run Rillaboom here and Incineroar doesn't run the Assault Vest as well, it just makes it perfect sense here that you do get that Assault Vest, which is quite nice here. So we like this. We like this a lot for Raging Bolt. Very good stuff. We have the Landorus with the Life Orb going into Terra Water, Earth Power Sludge, Roll Senses to Protect, Stand Suffer Landorus, can't really complain. We have the Focus Sash Calyrex going into Terra Ghost, Astral Barrage, Encore Psychic Protect, again, moving out of that Life Orb nasty plot set, giving it a Focus Sash, because one, Calyrex is just super fast. It's like one of the fastest Pokemon in the format, just under Regieleki, which is the fastest Pokemon in the format, which is absolutely insane for one. Second, so the fact that you've got something that is incredibly fast and would take a lot of your resources to KO in one shot, you have to basically do it twice because the Focus Sash is really, really good for Calyrex. I think Focus Sash is definitely like a better option to go for here. And the Encore, again, being so fast, there's not a lot of mons that can outspeed this thing. So unless you've got a Prankster that can set, like, I don't know, Encore Protect or a Taunt, this thing will Encore you. Like, this thing will absolutely Encore you if you don't have Scarf, if you're not under Tailwind, or if you're not under Trick Room. This thing will absolutely force you to go again and again and again. We have also the Brute Bonnet with the Cobra Claw going into Terra Water, Sucker Punch, Seed Bomb, Spore, and Rage Powder. Honestly, I believe Brute Bonnet was the MVP of both teams in the finals game. Like, Brute Bonnet was literally the quintessential piece. Like, once Brute Bonnet went down, the whole game kicked off. It was insane. It looked like a really, really big game of chess with Brute Bonnet. The minute Brute Bonnet went down, it was a free-for-all. It was absolutely insane. So Brute Bonnet definitely has respect on his name after this one. This was absolutely insane. Good job, Brute Bonnet. 100% worth it. We have the KORAIDON with the Clear Amulet going into Terra Fire, Flare Blitz, Collision Course, Flame Charge, and Protect. Standard stuff for KORAIDON, can't really complain. And lastly is the Incineroar with the Rocky Helmet going into Terra Water, Fake Out, Knock Off, Helping Hand, and Parting Shot. More of the supportive Incineroar, but again, nothing that's really surprised us here. We've seen this put up in the past. More or less one of the most standard set for Incineroars as well. So again, can't really complain. This is a very, very good set here. And of course, the crown jewel of worlds, the winning team done by Giovanni Sishki, the Lunala and KORAIDON team. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely huge. So we have the Brute Bonnet with the Citrus Berry going in Terra Water, Seed Bomb, Sucker Punch, Spore, and Rage Powder. This thing being an absolute juggernaut and being able to regain HP as well, it just makes this thing so much harder to deal with. Like, Brute Bonnet's already a tricky Pokemon to get rid of, but you give this thing healing, and it is so hard to get rid of. Like, this thing is an absolute juggernaut, and it really, really does show. We also have the Lunala with the Power Hub going in Terra Water, Moongeist Beam, Meteor Beam, Wide Guard, and Trick Room. Standard set for Lunala, can't really complain as well. Terra Water is a really, really good Terra typing outside of Terra Fairy for Lunala, so again, can't really complain. We have the Ursaluna with the Flame Orb going Terra Ghost, Headlong Rush, Facade, Earthquake, and Protect. Standard set for Ursaluna, can't really complain. We have the Choice Scarf Chiyu going in Terra Ghost, Dark Pulse, Heat Wave, Overheat, and Snarl. Standard Chiyu set as well. We have the KORAIDON Life Orb set, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, Flame Charge, and Protect. Again, standard Life Orb set for KORAIDON. And lastly, of course, is the Fluttermane going into Terra Stella with the Focus Sash, Shadow Ball, Moonblast, Icy Wind, and Protect. Normally for Fluttermane, you would see things like Terra, I believe Terra Fairy, because most times you'd want to steer clear outside of that Calyrex, because if you obviously go Terra Fairy, you don't get hit with Astral Barrage quite as hard. But I suppose for this sense, Terra Stella does make a lot more sense, because while yes, Moonblast doesn't consistently get an attack boost because of that Terra Fairy, you do still manage to keep that extra damage, because again, Fluttermane is really, really strong and really, really brutal. Like, it's just so brutal. Like, a lot of people have been forgetting about how strong Fluttermane is. Like, I was saying a while ago, like, I'm also including this one, I was saying a while ago that I believe Fluttermane has kind of like reached its peak already and kind of left. But oh my gosh, I was proven so wrong. I was proven so wrong this past weekend. Like, Fluttermane going all the way to the top. I think this was like the only Fluttermane in the top 4, I believe. I believe it was the only Fluttermane in the top 4. So this was absolutely insane here. Fluttermane just really showed out. Like, I am really impressed with this team. It's super simple. It's super straightforward. It's something really easy to learn. It's something really easy to master. It's just really, really straightforward. And it's so crazy that last year Miraidon won Worlds, and it's kind of like poetic justice that KORAIDON ended up winning Worlds this year. So it's really, really cool. Like, it's really, really insane. And it's, again, the same kind of formula here. Miraidon last year, really easy team to get used to, really easy team to master, you know, super simple game plan and work with that. And then now with KORAIDON, it's the same premise. Really easy team to structure, really easy team to set up, a really easy game plan to go for here. So it's like, it's super simple, super to the point, no crazy text, no crazy loopholes, no crazy countermeasures, just straight simple Sun aggression. If it's too fast, set up the Trick Room and let Ursaluna sweep. It is amazing. Like, I really, really do love this team. This team is really, really good. Good job on Giovanni and good job on KORAIDON Lunala. This was great. And of course, one of my favorite things to talk about is the top 12 Pokemon. I did manage to get the graphics for day 1, but I don't think there was one for day 2, which is quite interesting. But we're going to be talking about day 1 here, and we're going to be talking about the top 12 non-restricted Pokemon that got used throughout day 1. Of course, Incineroar's in the top spot here. Like, ever since Incineroar got reintroduced in the Indigo Disc, Incineroar's just been all over the place. Like, you can't really not see this guy not pop up in the top 3. But another good thing that is quite interesting is that the top 3, the big 3, are all in one. They're all there, taking the top 3 slots. Incineroar, Rapid Strike, Urshifu, and Rillaboom. The big 3, of course, they're coming in clutch here. Rapid Strike, Urshifu coming in at 32.1, Rillaboom coming in at 26.7. Apart from that, everyone kind of seems like the same structured sense here. Amoonguss pretty much staying there. The ones that I was the most surprised about is Smeargle, Volcarona, and I guess Landorus. Those 3 really did surprise me. Like, I guess for Landorus, it wasn't too bad, because I suppose Landorus is like a really good Pokemon for the most part as well. Like, it's pretty strong. But Smeargle and Volcarona really caught me off guard here. Like, Smeargle, I don't think was in the top graphics for the last regional at NAIC. I don't think so. I think he was, and if he was like right at the lower end of things. But Volcarona was definitely something interesting. Like, I was really impressed with Volcarona coming up in the top 12. This was really, really interesting. But yeah, otherwise though, it does seem like it's been the way the meta has been shaped for like the past few months anyway. So nothing really too surprising caught me off guard in this situation. And then next up is the top 8 restricted Pokemon of day 1 as well. Miraidon coming in the top spot here at 47.7%. Shadow Rider Calyrex just slightly below, 6% difference, which isn't too bad. And of course, Zamazenta staying very, very close here. Because for the most part, if you're running Calyrex, most likely you are running Zamazenta. But a lot of people like to run Calyrex with other Pokemon. Whereas for Zamazenta, it's pretty much only with Calyrex. So that kind of makes a lot of sense here. We've got Ice Rider Calyrex coming up at number 4. KORAIDON, I was honestly, I was surprised to see Groudon in the top 8 here. Like, normally that would be, you know, something like maybe a Ho-Oh, but honestly, I can't really complain here. Groudon is quite a good Pokemon, but outside of Groudon, the other 7 is like the main Pokemon you would see here. Like, everyone else is quite honestly there. Terrapagos disappeared. Like, honestly, I just remembered as well, Terrapagos was also one of those consistent mons as well. Terrapagos straight up disappeared. Under 7% usage for Terrapagos is absolutely insane. So I wonder what the biggest reasoning is for Terrapagos to not be there. I'm guessing because it really does require terrestrialization, so it kind of like nerfs everybody else on your team. So it's kind of an interesting one here. But yeah, Terrapagos being under 6% usage is absolutely insane. Like, that is shocking to me. But honestly, outside of all these guys, nothing really surprised me here. Miraidon, again, won Worlds last year. It's been a very popular Pokemon. It's been a very dominant Pokemon ever since its introduction. So it doesn't really make much sense that it wouldn't be in the top spot, yet alone the number 1 slot. So yeah, I can't really complain here. This pretty much seems like the standard go-to set to go for. And then finally, are the top 4 restricted pairs of day 1. Of course, it's Xalarex. Ooh, Xalarex. That sounds cool. I almost cut that out there. I almost cut that, but Xalarex. Xalarex, we could go for that. I'll call it that. So Xalarex at the top spot here. Look, come on, let's start a trend going, guys. We'll start a trend going. Let's keep it going. Xalarex, give me Xalarex in the comments if you're still here. Give me Xalarex in the comments. But yes, guys, so yeah, so Xalarex going in the top spot here, 25.3%. A quarter of the competitors at World ended up using Xalarex, which is quite interesting here. We have the Ice Rider Calyrex and Miraidon, which is at 20.5%, which is quite interesting. Not exactly the duo I was expecting to see, but hey, that's quite nice. I was expecting to see the next pairing, which is Lunala and Miraidon as well, but they're at 8.1, which is really, really interesting here. So I wonder if it's just because of things like the Chilling Neigh, or just because the typing is a little bit better in this situation. I wonder. So it's quite interesting here. So I don't know, who knows. And then lastly is the Shadow Rider Calyrex with the Miraidon as well, going into the last spot here at 7.5%, which isn't exactly that crazy. But the fact that, you know, KORAIDON and Lunala won, if anything, came up in a bunch of good spots here. KORAIDON alone coming up in 3 out of the top 4 is absolutely insane to me. So like, KORAIDON again still really showed out. KORAIDON really was slept on all the way up until the final day of Worlds, which was absolutely insane. But this was really, really good. I did love this Worlds. This World was one of my favorites to watch. This was really, really good. But yes, guys, I suppose that's it for today's video. I really did love this World. Like, I can't get over how crazy this World was. This was really, really good. A lot of matches were just so impressive. Like, everyone really did show out and gave it their all. I'm so impressed with how every competitor did this year. This was really, really good. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know by leaving a like down below and maybe hitting that subscribe button. It helps helps me out a ton. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite team was this past weekend at Worlds, and let me know what your favorite player was as well. I didn't get to see any of my favorites play. I think at day 1 I saw like Marco Silva at best, and that was pretty much it. And I obviously saw Wolf at the end of day 1 as well. But yeah, apart from that though, everyone else really did impress me. Like everybody else really did impress me. I was very impressed. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye.